Okay, well, we'll go ahead and get started. We'd like to welcome the winner of the 2011 RBC Canadian Open. Big smile on your face. That's got to have a good feel to it. Sean O'Hare, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Obviously wasn't an easy week for anybody.
No.
But you got the job done, and it took an extra hole, but you got the job done. And with the win, you picked up 500 FedEx Cup points. That moves you right into the race. I think you moved up to 43 on the list. Just a few comments about the week.
Sure.
And
can you guys hear me, by the way? Yeah, you can hear me?
Heard you talking outside about how you kind of struggled. You've been struggling a little bit through the year. What kind of validation does that right there mean to you?
You know, I guess to explain it the best is just, you know, last week is one of my favorite weeks, British Open, something I look forward to all year, and I played so great, and I ended up doubling my last hole from basically just off the fairway to miss a cut by shot, and you know, I was having a hard time trying to learn from that experience, and obviously it's been a tough year up to that point, and missed a lot of cuts by shot, and you know, I've worked very, very hard this year, and I've had so much support from family and friends, and just to keep me up, you know, upbeat, and to be sitting here right now is it's unbelievable. I'd say you're nuts. By the beginning of the week, to be honest with you, I when I played my Pro-Am, obviously it's a very intimidating golf course, and I played horrific, and I just, you know, I probably Wednesday night was my lowest point of the whole year. Just kind of, I didn't know how I was going to play this week, and to be sitting here is amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well, with that, we'll just go ahead and open it up for a few questions. We have a couple of microphones, if you wouldn't mind just raising your hand so we could use those.
Sean, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's been a pretty tough year. Can you put your finger on why it's been such a tough year and why this week was different?
You know, I think the golf swing got off. You know, the golf swing got off to a point where I was struggling. I was struggling to play the game and play it the way I play it. I like to hit a lot of different types of shots. I'm not a one type of shot player. I like to shape shots both ways and trajectory and whatnot. And I just got to a point where, you know, I had to go back to what kind of got me on the PGA Tour. So I went back to an old coach of mine, Steve Dalby, who, you know, he's been coaching me on and off ever since I was about 11, 12 years old. And we just kind of started rebuilding it right before the Players. And you know, a big part of it was just set up and then trying to coil a little bit better on the backswing. You know, I kind of was starting to lean towards the target on my backswing and not getting behind the ball, and I actually hit that shot. I hit a kind of a fat 5-wood shot on number 16, and that was kind of my old swing. You know, and then from there it's just gotten better and better. The ball striking's gotten better and better. I thought I was over this hump after Players Championship. I had a good Players Championship, had a good Colonial, and my father-in-law was caddying for me at the time, and you know, we thought I was good to go for the rest of the year, and then, you know, I missed a cut here by a shot, missed a cut there by a shot, and it just kind of, the bad play kept showing up, and I didn't know what the deal was. But you know, I think this week the golf swing, the game has been there, but mentally I was a lot better. You know, I've been impatient. I've been wanting to play myself out of this slump so bad, and I've been getting in my own way. And this week I think I did a better job. I still need to work on it, but I think I did a better job of just kind of staying out of my own way and just playing golf and letting the chips fall where they may.
Real quick, before the next question, would you just mind spelling Steve's last name for our transcriber?
Yeah,
Sean, it's a little ironic. You're sitting here with the Canadian Open trophy. You had a Canadian caddy. You had a Canadian swing coach. Those are gone
Right.
now, but here it is. Do you find anything odd about that?
No.
Or could you explain what
You know,
happened with those gentlemen?
You know, I don't think I'd be here without Sean Foley. Sean really helped me learn about myself and about my game, and he took me a long way in a short period of time, and I learned a lot with him. It was time to make a change, and that's really it's that simple. We're still close friends. We still chat quite a bit, and in this business, nothing's guaranteed, and we're always trying to find a way to play better. And like I said, I felt like I needed to go back to some things that got me out here, and it's just some basic stuff. And Steve's gotten me to that point, and that history obviously was there. Brennan Lowe is a fantastic guy and a fantastic caddy, and he wasn't doing anything wrong. It just I wasn't playing well, and I felt like I needed to make a change. But there's so many people that have gotten me to here. I'm not going to ever say that I did this on my own. So many people put their time in and effort into me and my game, and I just can't thank them enough. And it is ironic, I think, that I'm sitting here after Wednesday, and how I felt, and be holding the trophy is unbelievable.
Can you you mentioned obviously Wednesday being a low point. Was there a point that you got past that, a point this week that you started to think, hey, maybe this is going my way?
Yeah, actually, I was doing some reading Wednesday night, and I just had something inside me just told me it's time to let go, and just let everything take care of itself, and I did that. And I've been holding on so tight, and I've been trying to do it forcefully, and finally I just said, you know what, it's just time for me to just let go, and whatever happens, happens.
Hey Sean, I know Vancouver's a little isolated from the rest of the tour and their schedule, but I'm just wondering if you'd like to see this become more of a regular stop, and I'm wondering how you enjoyed your experience here in Vancouver.
Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to get down to the city of Vancouver. I hear it's unbelievable, and a lot of the players and caddies were talking about how fantastic it was. I think there was a Kenny Chesney concert earlier this week, so that would have been fun. But this golf course, I would love to have, as a venue that we come back to. I like I said before, I think this is one of the best courses I've ever played, and not just because I won, but just because when I stood up on the tee on Tuesday playing the front nine, everything just sets up so nicely for you. I talked earlier about shaping shots. That's the kind of player I am, and the fairways really shape your shot for you, and the green complexes are nice. It's just a very straightforward, difficult golf course, just very old school, and I think the players as a whole love this venue. So I would like to see this be kind of a normal visit for us.
Yeah, you're just talking about how much you like the golf course. Do players talk a lot on tour, and would you spread the word about this golf course? And what would you tell a player who's thinking about coming?
Players do talk a lot about the courses from week to week, and conditions and weather and whatnot. And I don't think the weather couldn't have been any better. And the conditions of the golf course were phenomenal, and I thought the golf course itself was fantastic. So, if I was telling anybody, if we had an event here, that it's definitely something you need to put on your schedule, and I think on the flight from British Open over to here, you had a nice solid field that that normally probably wouldn't have played the week after a major that were on that plane to play this event, and I think a lot of it had to do with the golf course.
Sean, you touched on this a little bit, but I'm sorry, over here.
Yeah, sorry.
During the times when you had the doubts, what kept you going, and what do you think you take from this carrying on for the rest of the year?
Sure. You know, I think what keeps you going is just your love for the game and love for the competition. And plus, you know, if I quit, I'm probably going to be flipping burgers because I can't do anything else. But you know, you just keep working hard, and you know, I was getting down on myself pretty good, and just that support system that's always telling you, look, you know, you're working hard, you're doing the right things, just keep at it, and just trust the fact that it's going to happen. What I take from this event, you know, in a way, this event is so much different than my other 3 wins. You know, I really appreciate being here and holding up that trophy. You know, it's fantastic. The other 3 wins have been fantastic, and it's always great to win a golf tournament. But you're always like, all right, now it's like, all right, I want to win more. And, you know, I just think I really appreciate what today was all about. I appreciated just being out there, being in the hunt, and I just was soaking things up a little bit more, and you know, the struggle and to be fighting, you know, and really kind of been lost. I mean, that's really the word for it, is I was lost on Wednesday, and to be sitting here, I really appreciate this win.
Sean, can you just talk about, I guess, the significance to, I know it's not your National Open, but the significance of winning a National Open, and I guess also as part of that, just what it was like playing in front of Adam Hadwin today and the following that he had?
I didn't play with, he was playing behind me. But to be a champion of the Canadian Open, clearly it's I think somebody was telling me it was the 3rd oldest national championship, so that's pretty cool within itself. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool within itself. But you look at the names on that trophy. I mean, there's some pretty cool names, and to be a part of that and be a part of that crew is an honor. And I think that's the best word for it, is I'm truly honored to be the champion of this year's Canadian Open. I mean, it's just, to win a national title is very cool, and I've always appreciated coming here and playing this event. You know, we play some fantastic golf courses. Not every year is great, but for the most part, every single golf course has been phenomenal, and the people here are fantastic. So it's really cool to be sitting here holding the trophy up, and the crowds this week were phenomenal. I played with John Daly. And their support for him was great. It was nice to see him play well. You know, I think we all kind of want him to play well and get back to his form, and I saw a lot of good things out of him this week or today, and it just was a lot of fun. You know, you almost try and put yourself in a cocoon, you know, so you're trying not to look too much. I mean, that's not my style, is looking around and everything, so I try and stay zoned in and mind my own business. But looking back, you know, the sounds and the roars and the feeling of throwing up on every single shot, you know, is something that is a lot of fun, and I'll look back on.
Can you walk us through your final hole prior to the playoff, and then sort of just talk a little bit about the playoff, because
Sure.
There were a bunch of people sort of stuck in the scrum with Adam coming off. So
Yeah.
just to give us a sense of, it looked a little messy on the playoff.
You know, the playoff, it's a tough hole. I mean, that's really all it comes down to. It's just a difficult hole, and this rough is very penal. You know, I was trying to play a cut off the left bunker there, and it just kind of stayed there, and then the wind took it to the left, and you know, had a nasty lie, and I think the same thing happened to Chris. And from there, you're just trying to get it as far up to the green as possible and try and make up and down. And felt like I made a nice putt there. Just kind of stayed on the high side, but you know, I was surprised Chris missed that putt. You know, I know he and I were kind of in a similar situation. I mean, we haven't been playing well this year, and you know, obviously you're trying to win, and I wasn't really looking at the scoreboard too much. But on 16, I saw that it was he and I were at the top, and then Romero behind us was kind of making a charge, and you know, you root for guys like Chris. I mean, Chris is a nice guy, and you know, I was rooting for Daly as well. I mean, you know, you kind of, you know what situation they're in, and you're in the same situation, and you just kind of like, you know, let's just get it to 18, and then whoever wins, wins. And that's kind of what happened. And you know, I think it's only a matter of time before Chris wins, because he's a solid player.
Sean, just before we wrap up, you mentioned on the 18th green after the tournament was over how blessed you felt.
Yeah.
You also mentioned that Wednesday night you read something that kind of turned your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share what that is, please?
Yeah. I read James 2 through chapter 1, 2 through 4, and it talks about adversity, and it talks about when your faith is tested, you know, be happy for it, because when your faith is tested, your faith grows if you allow it to, and when it's over and when your faith has grown, you'll be better off as a person, and your faith will be stronger. And so I don't know word for word, but basically that's what it was. I actually I read it last 2 days, and I just kept saying that to myself, and you know, that voice in my head Wednesday night, you know, just said, let go and let God, and it's really just that simple. And here we are.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah,
that.
thank you.
Sean, I'm just wondering, when that Chris was taking that putt there on 18, were you feeling a little bit nervous or a little bit anxious, the one he missed?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, there's not 1 second, you know, that I'm not, like I said, that I'm not feeling like I'm going to just puke, you know. There's not 1 second of it. You know, when you're walking, you know, to your next shot, you're breathing, you're trying to suck in as much air as possible, you're trying to keep your mind occupied and not think of the situation, and you know, I'm sorry that he missed the putt, but it just was the fact that I won, knowing that he missed the putt. It just, I don't know, it was just overwhelming. It just was overwhelming.
Okay, Sean, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.